Alright, moving on to part 2 of the video for today. I will make this a separate video since this video, if it was one whole segment, it'd be a very long video to watch. Looking at OHC, or ocean heat content, off the charts in the Caribbean, and that's where Ian is moving into, so we'll potentially take advantage of those amounts. Some ocean heat content in the MDR, but is suppressed to the south mostly, and some spots in the Gulf of Mexico which are really elevated. In the subtropics, not too much ocean heat content, but some is still there. None, of course, in the eastern Atlantic, in the subtropics. Alright, going on to sea surface temperature anomalies. We see warm in the subtropics in the north. You could see just to the east of Japan, very high above normal amounts. The entire Atlantic pretty much above average, besides some cold pools from Fiona and other systems potentially. That La Nina really strong, however, a warm pool just to the north of the equator on the same latitude line of the northern part of Ecuador. A lot of the Western Pacific is above average, and looking at the North Indian Ocean and the Bay of Bengal, pretty warm as we get into that part of their season. Looking at the contours, I'll look at just North America. You can see that there's still pretty warm waters throughout the subtropical Atlantic, and then going into the Gulf of Mexico, still bathtub water, to be honest. And then just to the south of Cuba, that looks like it is where the warmest waters are. Alright, looking at the CPC, we see that tropical storm, CPC, or Climate Prediction Center, is showing that tropical activity in the eastern Pacific, in the MDR region of the Atlantic. This is for September 28th through the 4th, and then because today is the 24th, so that'd be week 2, and then more elevated chance of tropical development in the South China Sea, on the same latitude line of Luzon in the Philippines. Alright, finally looking at the Storm Prediction Center, we see a marginal risk for today. No storm reports yet, no watches or mesoscale sessions likely today, none currently active. Tornado, none, but a small wind and a hail area. There's just some general thunderstorm risks for Florida, Texas, the Southwest, and up into the Ohio Valley. Looking at Sunday, we have a marginal risk, and I could see that a borderline case for a slight risk with inside of that marginal risk. You can notice that large general thunderstorm risk, pretty large, especially for the time of year, and that marginal risk really extends all the way to the coast, so those storms will likely not die off completely before impacting the coastal regions. Alright, no severe on Monday, but just those general thunderstorm risks throughout the nation. No critical fire weather for Saturday today, but an elevated risk for Oklahoma and along the border with Texas tomorrow for September 25th. Alright, looking at the National Weather Service, we really don't have too much going on, but some warnings are likely to be sparked with Ian moving into the Gulf of Mexico soon. We can see high wind warnings for Maine associated with Fiona's passage, but other than that, not too much. I believe we do have excessive heat warnings and excessive heat watches in California, and we do. So summer is still going on, or at least summer conditions in some portions of the country with some heat waves. And I believe it is still hot in the southern plains going into Texas. Alright, finally to look at the forecast models for the United States, we see the system moving through, and actually some snowfall for southern Canada, and then Ian moves through as we talked about earlier in this video. We won't look at the longer range now, but actually we'll just look at it for a little bit. Ian moves through the northeastern United States and the mid-Atlantic regions, bringing some rainfall and some snowfall for the Rockies. Some snowstorms actually trying to form for southern Canada. So it's interesting to see, and we could see some of these Arctic blasts trying to form for the early season in fall. It is just a sign to come with some cooler weather possible at times for the northern tier, especially in the eastern and central United States. Looking at mesoscale for the HRRR, we just see some general thunderstorms possible today with that marginal risk. And then tomorrow we see some storms possible. We see showers moving in through first, or potential for showers, and then thunderstorms possible with that marginal risk and potential slight risk as we get later into the day tomorrow. Alright, that's going to do it for today. Just want to note that those storms do try to make it to the coast. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. Actually, I do want to look at one more thing. Looking at total snowfall. Yes, total snowfall. We have a lot of snow going on in the Rockies. And then actually some snowfall for the interior northeast and the higher elevations. And a couple snow events for southern Canada. On the European model, we see, I can't pull it up, but for total accumulated precip on the European, we see a lot for the eastern United States, not too much for the western United States. But on the GFS, which shows the longer range, just waiting for this to load, we see a lot of moisture with Ian, and then some moisture going into the western United States for Washington and Oregon as we get into their more wetter season. And then in the Rockies, we see some rainfall and snowfall for the higher elevations, and some storminess for the east, as I previously mentioned. Alright, that is going to do it for today. Thank you for watching.